For example 4, we are now going to expand a power of a binomial. Remember, we talked about earlier when we have something that's being squared, we cannot distribute the power, but instead we'd have to expand it. So something squared is that something times itself, meaning if we have something cubed, it's that something times itself twice more. So we have 3 binomials being multiplied together. So this is equivalent to x plus y times x plus y times x plus y. Now, what we want to do here is just take it one step at a time. So the first thing we did, I'm just going to write steps out to help you later on the homework. Step 1 is what we just did, expand form. Step 2 is going to be multiply one set of binomial factors. It doesn't matter if you want to multiply the first 2 or the last 2. I'm just going to go ahead and pick the first 2. If I want to multiply 2 binomials together, I'm just going to use the arrow method and FOIL. So x times x is x squared. X times y is a positive xy. Y times x is yx. And then y times y is y squared. All of these are positive because we have positive signs all across up here. Okay, step 3 will be to combine like terms. Essentially what we're doing is we're cleaning this up. Now, I have an x squared and a y squared. These are different variables, so I cannot combine those. So let's look here. I have an xy and a yx. Even though they're written differently, both of these are multiplying an x and y together. So I can combine these. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I have x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. And I'm multiplying that by my x plus y. Now, we still have a multiplication problem, so we're going to multiply my binomial and trinomial together. I think the arrow method would be easiest once again. If you wanted to do box, go for it. But with arrow method, the x is going to go to all 3 terms. So x squared times x is x cubed. And then if I multiply x by the second term, that's 2x squared y. And then plus x times y squared. I can't combine and add the exponents because they're different variables, so it just has to stay x times y squared. And now I'm going to multiply the y's. Y times x squared is yx squared. Plus y times 2xy is 2xy squared. Plus y times y squared is y cubed. All right, last step is to once again combine like terms. I have an x cubed, but I don't have any other ones, so it's just going to stay. Now, I need to see if I have any more x squares and y's. So this is an x and a y squared. That's not the same thing. Here's a y and an x squared. So this and this can be combined. So plus 3x squared y. Right now I have an x and y squared. I do have another x and y squared here, so 1 plus 2 is 3. And the last one is plus y cubed. It's not always going to be this hard. What made it more challenging is the fact that I had an x and a y. I think your try problems will be a little bit easier here. But this is my final answer. On the next page, it says attempt the try problems. So I'm going to go ahead and have you pause the video, try those 4 problems using the notes, and when you are done, hit play to check your answers. Number 1, we had a monomial times a binomial, so all you had to do was distribute, and that's the arrow method. I ended up with 3x to the 5th power plus 12x squared. Number 2, we had a binomial times a trinomial. Once again, I thought that the arrow method would have been easiest. If you use box, that's fine. But after combining like terms, you should have ended up with this. Feel free to pause the video and check my work. Let's move on to number 3. Number 3 I actually put over here. Because I had a trinomial and a trinomial, I wanted to show it to you using box method. That's just a bit more work than I was willing to do using all those arrows, because I probably would get confused. Notice how I add along the diagonals, and this was my final answer. And last one, number 4. This was actually easier than the example problem I gave you because we didn't have multiple variables floating around there. The whole key was, because it was 2x minus 1 cubed, you had to multiply it by itself for a total of 3 times. You should have multiplied one set first, which ended up with 4x squared minus 4x plus 1, which you then multiplied by the third 2x minus 1. I used arrow method for that. This is what I got, and I combined like terms to get my final answer.